Welcome, I'm Chris Frew, CEO of BioBuzz Networks. We're here today at Philly Builds Bio, the third annual symposium for life sciences. We're here in the heart of Philadelphia, where hundreds of attendees and over 50 expert presenters have come to talk about innovation and Philadelphia's thriving life science ecosystem. I'm honored today to be joined with Matthew Stamm. Matt, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Matt Stamm. I'm an associate professor of electrical and computer engineering at Drexel University and an affiliate member of the Department of Computer Science. I'm an AI and machine learning researcher, and most of my research lies in an area called multimedia forensics, which is developing AI and machine learning techniques to detect fake, manipulated, and AI-generated media.
Well, that's exciting. As a media company, I promise we don't use any deepfakes in what we do tech. And this is really Matt Stamm. So. That's great. Matt, you just got off a panel. We're here today talking a lot about life sciences. I'd love to hear what you think you're most optimistic or about with AI and its impact in life sciences. Where do you see the greatest impact having in the short term?
Yeah, well, it's hard to predict where the greatest impact will be because it will have so much cross-cutting impact. AI has become this broad term to discuss a lot of different things, but for a long time we've been seeing traditional machine learning techniques make substantial advancements. So machine learning are techniques that can kind of ingest data and then make decisions. That's being used a lot in discovery and diagnosis. We're seeing techniques like generative AI being used in drug discovery. And that in the broader sense, this is part of generative AI, things like large language models and multimodal large language models. So things that can take in text, but also images, audio recordings. This is affecting basically all knowledge workers, where these things aren't really intelligent in the way that they can operate entirely on their own, but they can make knowledge workers extremely effective at accomplishing tasks that in the past took a lot of time. And with the advancement of some new kind of customized techniques like RAGs, you can help query knowledge bases and produce information, just things like text, do media analysis, things like that, at scale and accuracy that was previously extremely challenging. And while there's a long way to go, this will help people be much more effective in a large number of tasks.
So those are several broad areas. But in general, I mean, it sounds like you see that AI and these machine learning advancements are really going to impact the pace of discovery, and is it the cost of research and development?
So I don't work specifically in that space, so I should be a little bit cautious about what I say. But right now, just in the area of machine learning and artificial intelligence, we're seeing a rate of progress that's like akin to quantum physics in the 1930s. Right? There's just so much exciting information being discovered and generated all the time. This demonstration of basic capabilities are just new ones are showing up by the day. One of the big challenges will be how do we take that demonstration of a general capability and cover that last mile, make really strong advances in a particular space. So in let's say drug discovery, and again, that's a space that I don't work in. We can use generative AI and NLP techniques to help discover new molecules, new protein structures, things like that might be used in treating different things. Now, taking that demonstration of a capability and turning it into something that can something that can be operationalized, that's a really challenging research problem. But the fact that we're even looking at this kind of shows how much potential there is, because a decade ago, that might have seemed like science fiction.
Yeah. So your work is in information forensics?
Yes.
And data integrity. How do you what is the parallel to life sciences and things like clinical trials or health IT and how medicine is delivered? A lot of it's delivered over over video and new ways these days. So maybe you could talk broadly about how some of the work that you do is directly impacting this field.
So this is going to touch a lot of areas where information security has traditionally been looking at. So the rise of AI, and in particular generative AI, it both opens up a couple of new information security problems, but also amplifies a bunch of existing ones that were always around, but maybe took a lot more skill and resources to make an effective attack. So one important example that we'll see in life sciences, in the past, there's always been manipulation of data in clinical studies, in like research grant applications. I have a colleague working on identifying fake and manipulated Western blot images. In the past, you could do this by physically printing out a photo and manipulating it and then taking a new photo, and then Photoshop comes along, you can do a lot of duplication like that. But now we have generative AI, and you can make fully synthetic, very realistic looking Western blot images or large amounts of data. This hopefully is not a widespread problem. Most researchers are ethical. However, there's always a small percentage of unethical operators that can have a tremendous impact on how the field progresses. I do know that HHS and NIH are working to integrate these tools to help suss out fake and manipulated data in grant applications, and then prior to publication, look for evidence of manipulation and generative AI being used. In general, as we look at things like remote medicine, deep fake media has progressed substantially. So that word is used a lot, but its original meaning is just, if I take a video of, let's say, me and use generative AI to replace my face with yours, right? So now I've made a fake video of you where I'm puppeteering you. We've progressed to the point where we can make real-time deep fakes, and there are new advances where we may have this basically built in to video conferencing technology, because it's really great from a technological standpoint. But there are important harms where now I can puppeteer you and use this to trick people into disclosing private information, sensitive health information. I know I am working on this, as are several others in this space. How do we protect against this? Because this has a lot of implications, and health is one really important area. Leakage of personally identifiable information, or just leakage of sensitive information, becomes much more challenging if someone can realistically impersonate someone else. And generative AI has lots of good around it, but this is a really important challenge.
It's a I guess, a double-edged sword, as they say, right?
Yes. I was going to say, it's like all new technology. It can produce tremendous good, but it can also produce lots of malicious uses. The technology itself isn't inherently good or bad. It's all in the hands of people using it. So we need to think very intentionally right now about how do we put up guardrails to prevent malicious uses? Because again, the technology isn't good, but malicious actors now have a new tool to do bad things.
Well, in general, like you mentioned earlier, most people working in life science are here to create good for mass.
Yes.
So we have that to fall back on. That we're in an industry where people are out to seek to do good and help. So, well, Matt, I really appreciate your time today. This is a really interesting discussion. I'm glad that you were here, part of the Philly Builds Bio event here to share some of this. I know it's a hot topic for a lot of people, and a lot that many people are still learning about.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about this.
My pleasure. My name is Chris Frew. I'm the CEO of BioBuzz Networks, and we're here live today at Philly Builds Bio.